Let me pause the recording as we let people come in. My pocket's brand and I have to go live in a Facebook group, so I apologize. Sometimes me and Facebook are not always the best of friends. It's just like that sometimes. This is, nope, sharing a group. There we go. Doesn't always do what I want it to do. Gotta be. It's going. All right, let me share my screen. Got it. Okay, thank you. Okay. I think we're there now. Okay, hello everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. And today we are going to talk about your annual planning. Now, I always like to start the annual planning with actually just talking about the stuff that we don't normally talk about in our business. We don't talk about how we feel about our business. We don't talk about what happened in our business. We don't really do a reassessment of our business. And we don't talk about what happened in the year and all this other stuff. So we're going to start with what I refer to as the reset. So this is the 2022 annual planning session. This is part one. This is a 3-part series. And in this 3-part series, we're going to be covering a lot of stuff. In the reset, we're going to be talking about your mindset and your thoughts. So that is today. Then we're going to have refocus, which is tomorrow, which is priorities and reorganization, like organizing your business. And then reenergize, which is to build and scale things in your business and giving you some tips and strategies that will help you hopefully build and scale your business. But the first thing we have to do is we got to assess where we are. So the reset button is always that opportunity to kind of go backwards and go, what do I need to improve? What do I need to change? What do I need to think about? What went well? What didn't go well? How are things going in my business overall? And so that's what we're going to be focusing on. And then your mindset around that. I think all of us have been on this roller coaster ride for about 2 years now. It feels like we would like 2022 to not be the roller coaster ride year. So I think, so 2021, we went from 2020 to 2021. 2020 was definitely all about the mask everywhere. And then 2021 was all about, getting the shots. And I think in 2020, we definitely, the isolation, like being an entrepreneur and working independently, working on your own is not a surprise to us. Like if you own your own business, you've been working in most cases, probably by yourself or independently anyway. But there was a whole nother level of isolation that I think everybody experienced in 2020, and we just extended it into 2021. And I think in reality, most people are revolting against the isolation in 2021. So whatever it happens to be because of this horrible virus, we just all have been not ourselves. I think for some, they'd be like, if we could just go back to 2019, not that we want to go backwards, but just the interaction of being able to go to events and being able to socialize and hang out with people and not have to think twice about it. There are some people that don't think about it at all, but there are those that do think about it, and that feeling and of just feeling alone and by yourself. It's just a stressful thing. So the one thing I would say about 2021, when it comes to this, I think we became, more divided about the decisions that we had to make as people, and then the decisions we had to make in our business. We may have been introduced to more stress in our business. For some people, their business thrived and excelled and just blew up, and they made a lot of money. And for other people, their business and how they run their business operations may have gotten a little more stressful because, again, of the virus and or restrictions and or challenges. 2021, we had the awesome, amazing issues with getting shipments in from China or from anywhere else. So the supply chain was just bogged down. And so for some people, they couldn't get their inventory. They lost money. They made investments and their inventory came in after the holiday was over, or it didn't come in time for whatever it was that they were selling. and they had those challenges. For others, they had, because their money was tied up, they may have experienced other challenges like financial ones. Where am I going to live? Am I going to lose my house? Am I going to lose my whatever? So some of us hustled harder and some of us didn't, not because we didn't want to, but because maybe we couldn't. Maybe we know people that went through a lot in 2021, and it's just a lot of stress and heaviness. And then maybe we also know people who lost a lot in 2021. It's just a lot for us to be thinking about as humans. And sometimes I think because we've been through so much stress in 2020 and in 2021, in some cases, we were not even empathetic to those people that were struggling. For some people that I've met, I've seen that their empathy level went way down because, again, somehow the virus and the isolation associated with it changed everybody. So I think that when some of us were able to come together, if you were able to interact with others, some of the stress that we were feeling kind of subsided when we were actually able to interact with others. Just being able to spend a little more time with family and friends, things started to feel better. And sometimes we just needed to be able to hug things out or talk things out. I know a lot of people have left, not a lot, a few people have decided that they're going to leave certain platforms and not sell on them because of the amount of stress. You have the stress of whatever the platform demands are, and the stress of running your business, and the stress of the health of maybe your parents or your friends or somebody that that was in the hospital, or somebody that lost their job, and you're like, this is just too much. I can't take all of this stress all at once. And just being able to, God made us to be able to interact with each other and to talk with each other and to love one another and to touch one another. And this pandemic just made it so that there was not a lot of that happening for the last 2 years. And I think everybody just decided they were done with it all. And we're just going to go hang out, especially here in Texas. We're like, look, it's going to be whatever's going to be, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And that's okay, because everyone has their breaking point. So with all of this is going on and all of this that happened, this picture is just so grainy, but it was so cute before. Sometimes we just needed to hug it out so we could feel better. Sometimes we just needed to get past all of the challenges of trying to run our businesses on our own, not having the help that we needed, or people not wanting to come and help us. Because I'm a person, I normally hire staff. I hire staff. I hire them typically around August, and they stay with me August, September, October, and part of November. And then we've done enough that I'm prepared to let them go. And not being able to have people come to your house and work with you on your inventory, your shipments, or outsourcing aspects of your business and sending it over to a fulfillment center or a prep center. It's just all of those challenges of just running a business is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And being able to hug it out. I know that I just recently saw my business partner. I hadn't seen her, I don't know how long it'd been since I had physically seen her. Like, I've seen her on Zoom a lot of times, and we physically saw each other for the first time. And I was able to give her a hug, and she gave me a hug. And I think it was almost I feel like it was like 18 months or 15 months. That was a long time to go without being able to interact with someone that you work with on a regular basis, or being able to have staff come over. So I just want to say, in this reset, we're going to let the past be in the past. If there's anything that happened in 2021 that you feel bad about, we're going to acknowledge it and move forward in our businesses, because we're not going to carry the weight and the heavy weight and the burden of 2020 into 2021 into 2022. We just don't want to do that. We need to let it go. We're going to hug it out. We're going to forgive and let go. Hopefully we'll make amends if there are people that you lost friendships and relationships with because of their position on one thing or another. At the end of the day, we're all on this round marble together, and we got to figure out how to coexist together. So hug it out, hug it out, hug it out, hug it out. So life is short. Definitely. I've always known that life is short, but it really became a reality for me in 2021. And you should create memories, not just memories in your personal life, because you definitely should have members in your personal life. Your children need you, your friends need you, your family needs you. But you should also create some fun memories in your business. And I have so many fun memories that I have for my business on my e-commerce journey that I could share. Some of it includes mistakes, stupid mistakes that I've made, things that I've done, and some of it is not. Some of it is great and glorious and amazing. But I do want you to remember, at the end of the day, life is short. We are in this e-commerce business to make money, to make a lot of money, hopefully. But we also want to just remember that we can't do this business without people at all. People to buy our crap, people to make the crap, whoever's going to be making it, people to get the crap to us. And I keep calling it crap because, again, at the end of the day, when we're in the ground, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, at that point, it doesn't matter. All of it is irrelevant. So just remember that we do need people on this journey of being an independent entrepreneur. People make your stuff, people ship your stuff, people make the stuff that your stuff can be shipped in. people get your stuff from point A to point B. People buy your stuff. All of that, it involves people. So as you're on this journey, a lot of empathy, a lot of grace and mercy has kind of fallen to the wayside. Just try to remember, at the end of the day, the person that's selling it at the cash register, or the person that's selling it, like you put it on a platform, somebody buys it, like this thing is going somewhere else. And the thing that we're all evolving into, as far as sellers are concerned, is that it is 100% about the customer experience at this point. It's about building the emotion and the feeling around the products that we are selling, offering, sharing. It is about the customer experience, regardless of the platform. It really is. And if your customers have a good experience with you, you get repeat customers. If they don't, you don't. But you do need to remember that you can't do this business without people. Somewhere in every step of your business, someone else is participating, willingly or not, in your success. So cut yourself some slack, cut other people some slack, give yourself some grace and mercy, and give them some grace and mercy. Because, yeah, it's just been a very, very interesting 24 months. And I'm ready for something new. So in your year-end review, I wanted you to grab a pen and paper. And I want you to think about, what do you feel like went well in your business in 2021? Did you make more sales? Did you get better at listing? Did you get better at shipping? You feel like shipping improved? Because I know 2020 shipping was horrific. I feel like 2021 shipping actually got a little bit better, ironically. What went well in your business? What do you want to change? What are the things that you do want to change in your business? What are the things you want to stop doing? What are the things you want to start doing in your business? Write those things down, because we're going to use that as we begin the process of refocusing on our business. What is it that you need to change or you want to change? And maybe it's something that you've been doing for a while and you're like, or maybe it's something you tried last year. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. One of the things, I'm going to be honest, one of the things I don't want to do anymore, I have inventory in so many different places. It's ridiculous. It is bananas. And I have it in the storage unit. I have it in my house, my garage. I also have it at a prep center. And so I'm like gradually trying to get my inventory where it needs to be, but it is a process, because when you have so much inventory, it is a process. Like, okay, if I ship this, is a sale coming in, all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm on a mission for my first quarter of 2022 to get all this crap out of my house and get all the stuff out of my storage unit, and to be 100%, okay, we'll say 95% functioning with the prep center. I don't know if the prep center is ready for my madness, but I don't want to do this anymore. I decided I can't anymore. So that's one thing that I'm definitely going to change. The other thing is, there's a couple of other things that I want to change about my business, but I don't want you to think about in your year-end review. Don't just think about your business. What are some things that you want to change maybe in your personal life? What are the things you want to change with your family life, with your kids, maybe your relationships? of your spiritual life, your financial life, your fitness and health. Like, what are the things that you want to change? Don't just isolate this to, your business. So what do you think went well for your family? Do you think there's some things that you could improve? We had already been doing a movie night like most of the time on Fridays. And so we kind of introduced playing some games. And I think that was pretty cool. We're going to continue to do that. Other things that I want to change, I've got to get my kids ready for graduation, even though they're not graduating for like 3 or 4 years. So we're starting the adulting early. Teaching them what they need to do to become adults. And so every single month we're taking on one new thing, because I think for Tony, I have like 28 months, 27 months. I have 27 months until he graduates. So I have to take on one new thing a month, 27 new things to become a better adult. We're going to focus on one thing a month, and we're going to do that. What do you want to stop doing? What do you want to start doing? And what made you happy this year? Like, one of the things I'm going to miss is I want to go on a cruise. But the reality is, this pandemic, I don't know that we'll ever be able to do another cruise again. Not excited about not being able to do that. Really kind of frustrated about it. So write those things down so that we can come back to them when we're coming into rebuilding the business, restructuring the business, and making improvements in our business. So on this journey, you hear the term mindset all the time. Your mindset matters, your mindset matters. And it really does matter. The things that we talked about at the beginning of this call, like the first 10 minutes, were all about emotions and feelings and things that happened, and just accepting and embracing and getting past it, because these are real things that we couldn't change. We can't change them, can't fix them, can't modify it. But your mindset does matter, because on this journey, your mindset helps you to make the decisions that you need to make, help you to potentially get the results that you're trying to get. And so your goal is to kind of expand and grow over time. It's not an instantaneous thing. We're not trying to put additional stress, because we've had enough stress, but just a little bit of stress to push you outside your comfort zone of just expanding how you look at your business, what you do in your business, how you make some of the decisions in your business. So being the 2% of the population is where we're trying to get. We want you to increase your confidence in your business, and we want you to definitely see a vision of growth in your business. We want you to learn how to continue to embrace the unexpected, because the unexpected sometimes can be good. It can also be horrible. But when I say embrace the unexpected, it's all about, like, we'll talk about inventory. Sometimes we don't know what to source. We're like, oh, I'm going to test this because the sales rank is good, or I think people will buy it. Let's just start with that. A lot of us have purchased stuff that people didn't buy. It just sat on our shelves. There is no perfect seller out there. Maybe you're lucky and 80% of the things that you buy don't sell, but then you have 20% that sell like crazy. They are amazing when they sell. Like, they sell all the time. So they give you the majority of your income. Those we love, things that sell all the time. So as you're on this journey of trying to figure out, I need to make some decisions about my business. I need to reset how I look at my business, how I think about my business, how I think about my personal life. How can I balance the two together better than I did in 2021, going into 2022? How can I reduce some of the stress that maybe my family has had, or my friends, or just me by myself running my business? What are some of the things that made me happy? And how can I incorporate that into this journey that I'm going to be on in 2022 to make myself a better person, to become a better seller, and to simplify or improve or build or scale my business operations, in addition to make other enhancements and changes in my life? Because everybody's got a list. Like, on my list, I want to lose weight. I need to lose weight. I want to. I'm going to, will lose weight. I will lose the weight. I am losing weight. So I have to think about that all the time. It is kind of challenging when you have limited oxygen sometimes, but I will get there. It will be okay. But there are times when we're in this business that we do need to push ourselves a little bit outside of the comfort zone. So maybe one of the things you wrote down for this year is that you decided you're going to try to do private label, or maybe you're going to, you're going to tackle or sample private label. Maybe you're going to tackle or sample print on demand. Maybe you're going to stop selling on Amazon. There are some people that have made that decision, or you're going to explore other platforms. It's okay. It's all part of the journey. But think about how you can make some slight adjustments and shifts in your business so that you can become part of that 2% that really is wildly successful in their business and that are able to grow and expand their business because they see things differently. So on your mindset journey as a life of an entrepreneur, the life of an entrepreneur. So let me stop the floating thing because I can't see this. So in the beginning, you're in this business for yourself. You own the business, you run the business, you make all decisions, you get to track everything. Like you're running everything. You're the shipper, you're the sourcer, you're the lister, you're the shipper when you're early in this journey. Like I don't know anybody that jumped into e-commerce and didn't have to list anything, didn't have to ship anything, didn't have to source, unless they bought a business in a box. And then they're relying 100% on somebody else and they don't know anything about the platform, which I would never recommend that you do, because you don't know what it is that these people are doing since you don't know anything about running the business at all. So when you're first in the business as an entrepreneur, you make all the decisions and you get to do everything on your own. You're the boss, embrace it. It's okay. That doesn't mean you'll always be in that spot. The goal is for you to not always be in that spot. As an entrepreneur, the goal is to build the business. So as you are on this journey, you are the chief everything officer. You do all the accounting, the marketing, all of the operational stuff. You make the decisions. You decide what you're going to order, what you're not going to order, all of those things. It's okay. Embrace it. And in the real world of being an entrepreneur, because again, when you first get into the business, you're like, yeah, I get to make all the decisions. And then you're like, oh, making all the decisions can be a little tough, a little stressful, can make you a little anxious. So you get to experience all the stress of being the business owner. It's okay. You get all the anxiety. It's okay. You take all the blame in your business when things don't go well, like this thing didn't sell and I bought 2 pallets of it and none of it sold. Okay, it's all right. You're responsible for all the failures. It's okay. And you carry out the financial burden. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully on this journey, we're going to talk about some things that hopefully you won't carry a heavy load of financial burden. That's the goal. It is part of the journey. This is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So again, there's going to be ebbs and flows and ups and downs in your business. That's part of the journey, the life of an entrepreneur. There are days when things are great, and there are days when things are not so great, when things are really messed up, when things are not working out. And there are days when everything is working out for you and you're like, yes, I am so excited about being in this business. Like we just had a windfall day. We just made $50,000 in one day. Those kind of days are great. We love those kind of days. Having the opportunity to do that, love it, always excited about it. But also making mistakes in your business. It's part of the journey. And again, it will be okay. At the end of the day, I say that now because I can tell you the stuff I've been through. The last 3 years, I feel like maybe 4. I feel like e-commerce is like telling me to leave. And I'm being honest. I felt 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think it was 3, we got mold. I got mold in my house and my office is where I did everything. So I was actually locked out of my office with plastic on the door and on the, like if you go back to any of the videos, you'll see me talk about it, where I had mold and I had to block off my office. And so there's a whole bunch of inventory that was in my office. And so my brother and my son had to go in hazmat suits and go in and get my inventory out of my office. I was like, what is this madness? I was sick. I was in the hospital. It was crazy. I wasn't able to put up as many listings that year and I had to pivot. I had to do something completely different that year to make revenue. And I had to pivot fast. So we go into, that was 2019. Yeah. And then 2020, I was like, okay, reset, we're good. Well, then the pandemic hit. We did good. We did okay. It was fine. 2021 this year. Well, I got COVID. I got COVID. Oh, it's not funny. It really isn't. But at this point, I have to laugh instead of crying. Got it in August. Well, that's normally when I would start preparing for Q4. And so all of August, all of September, all of October, I was down and out in Beverly Hills. I started to recover, meaning I was in the hospital for 12 days, and then I started to recover. At the end of September, started on a long journey. October, slow and steady. November, okay, now we're at a place where we're going to start trying to sell stuff. So I was literally selling stuff in the month of November when I should have already been ready, because I couldn't stand for long periods of time. So I couldn't ship anything. I couldn't even create listings. I almost lost my eBay account because I hadn't responded while I was in the hospital. Like when I got out of the hospital, it was like September the 12th or something like that. I had to reply to like orders that had not been shipped. It was horrible. So things happen in your e-commerce journey, and I survived it. It wasn't easy. I didn't make as much money as I wanted to in 2019. I didn't make as much money as I wanted to in 2021, but I did survive it. And I came out on the other end of that. I learned some more lessons. I put some more stuff in place so that way, if I ever become sick again, like the goal was to always leave the business to my family. So this kind of like, I don't know, expedited that process a little bit, unfortunately. But on this journey of being an entrepreneur, the ebbs and flows of it in the real world, you get to experience all the successes that happen in your business. So I had some major successes. We were able to start pulling the business back together. It's not 100% perfect. There's still things that we need to do. There's still things that are still undone from 2021 because of the fact that I was, checked out and not available for a couple of months. And I will get those things done. I know what they are. You get all the profits as an entrepreneur. If you don't have a partnership, then all the money is coming to you and your family. And that's a great thing. So when you do have those amazing days where you're like, oh my gosh, I made $50,000 today. There you go. You get to take all the credit for the success in your business. So even though we had all the negative stuff about the anxiety and the stress and the financial burden, you also get to take all the success take all the credit when it is profitable. And you also are responsible for all the victories because of the actions that were taken, the decisions that you made in your business, big and small, the contributions to that. So embrace it. I just want to say on this journey, embrace it, embrace it, embrace it. Embrace the good, embrace the bad, be thankful for the journey, figure out what you can learn from the journey of the ebbs and flows of being an entrepreneur, because there are things to learn. There are things to acknowledge. There are things to recognize. And so when you're going back, and I asked you at the beginning, what do you think went well in your business? But also be thinking about what went well in your personal life as well. What victories did you have, maybe with your kids or with your neighbors or with your parents or with your friends? Did you have any victories? Maybe you are a person that during this pandemic, you lost weight. I gained weight. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I gained weight. Maybe during this pandemic, like you built a stronger bond with your sister or your brother. Maybe during this pandemic, because you weren't able to go out as often because the restaurants weren't closed most of the time, that maybe you saved a little more money and now you got a vacation home, or, there's some victories in this journey that you have, or maybe you had more money to put into your business, or maybe you got a dog. I don't know. Celebrate those things that happened during this journey over the last year and a half, and also celebrate all the ebbs and flows that go with your e-commerce business. Now, maybe all of it was too much and you decided, I don't want to do this anymore, and that's okay too. Give yourself a break and don't let people talk you into doing something that you don't want to do. For those people who decide they want to leave Amazon, it's okay. It really is okay. It's okay. It's your business. It's your decision. Don't let anybody change your mind. You want to make sure that you're assessing, why you're making the decision. And maybe it is just all stress-based, because we refer, me and my business partner refer to Amazon. We have a whole bunch of different names for Amazon. But some people say that just being a seller on Amazon is like, you get PTSD from selling on Amazon, because Amazon changes the rules, or I don't know. Amazon goes through adjustments and changes a lot more frequently than some of the other platforms. And so they make it a little hard for some sellers, depending on what type of seller you are. And even people who have private label products, I've heard some of them have had some challenges with Amazon too. So all I'm saying is, it's okay if you want to leave the platform. If it's giving you that much PTSD, it's okay. Don't let anybody judge you. Don't be judged by them. Don't even worry about what anybody else thinks, because again, it's your business. You're the boss. Embrace the fact that you're the boss and making the decisions. So as part of this being the boss, as part of this journey of being an e-commerce seller, why are you an e-commerce seller? Why are you doing this? So my why is my kids. My why has always been my kids. But what is your why? Because if your why is money, you will stop doing this when the next thing comes along that says it's going to give you more money. I can tell you that right now. I refer to that as shiny object syndrome. As soon as the next big thing comes around, you will chase the next big thing, and then you will chase the next big thing after that, and you will chase the next big thing after that. As part of this journey. I refer to that all the time as shiny object syndrome. You need to figure out why you're in this journey. Why are you doing e-commerce? Why did you decide that you wanted to be a seller? Why did you choose the platform that you chose? Why? Sorry about that. Why are you selling the products that you chose? There's got to be a reason. It may feel like there's randomness to it, but maybe there is really no randomness to it. You may be that seller that is truly methodical and thinks through it, or maybe you are accidentally thinking through it and you're not really paying attention to the pattern of why you make the decisions you make. What is the things you sell? What is the platform that you chose? Did you choose this platform over another because it was easier to get started? They have lower fees, they have better shipping rates, or they have no fees. Are you doing print on demand because it's less expensive than it is to do retail arbitrage? Or are you doing private label because you don't want to compete with anybody at all? Like, why are you in this business? Why did you get into it? Did you start it because you needed to save some money for a car or buy a house or take care of somebody? Or is it because of the fact that you just hate your job and you're like, I want out? So why did you get in the business? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? That's the one thing that I think everybody forgets to write down. I didn't write it on the screen. So what don't you like about e-commerce? And be honest about it. Like, write down why you don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. Write down what you don't like about it. So what do you like about e-commerce? For some, like when I first got into the business, we started on eBay. And then eventually I moved over to doing retail arbitrage. And what I liked about retail arbitrage is the hunt. And I think people who do thrifting, they also love the hunt. It is the hunt of finding those things that are selling for a higher price and being able to flip it, like finding the deal. The hunt of finding a deal was always fun for me. And we used to record videos before people were doing TikToks and all that other stuff. Like we were doing Facebook Lives and going into the stores and like, oh, look at this. I scanned this and this is what it's selling for. That was my thing. So what keeps you motivated? Why are you still doing e-commerce if you're still doing it? I've been doing this since 2014, technically. Why are you still doing it? What motivates you to keep doing it? Or maybe you were saying, I'm done and I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go do cryptocurrency or whatever, Bitcoin, or I'm going to go join this MLM, or I'm going to go sell real estate. Like, why are you motivated to do e-commerce? So I'm motivated to keep doing it because I see the numbers and the fact that more and more people are buying online. It went to a whole new crazy level in 2022 because the pandemic just expedited what was already happening. E-commerce already had a trajectory to go up as far as the number of people buying online.
And it just went to a whole new level when the pandemic hit. And brick and mortars are still not getting the foot traffic, even as some of the restrictions around the pandemic have lit up. The sales for online sales are just continuing to go crazy. So much so that a lot of the businesses and companies have been making adjustments in what they do. Companies that you may not even be thinking about, like they've more and more warehouse space. That's the big thing now. For the last 12 months, warehouse space has been the thing. Making sure that you have enough warehouse space. And I don't mean for you, your business, like all the suppliers who make the products that we sell, getting their products over from China, learning that hard lesson of having your stuff tracked or dealing with the supply chain. So instead of dealing with the supply chain, instead of dealing with your stuff being trapped over in China, companies are moving to manufacturers in the US, or they're moving to manufacturers in other countries like India or maybe even Mexico, or they're doing Taiwan or other places, and they're also having a boatload of their inventory inside the US so that they can move it around much easier, much faster. So I see the trends. That's what motivated me, because I know it's only going to get better, only going to make more money in e-commerce. Even if more sellers get into the business, the sales are continuing to go up exponentially. So I want you to peel back the onion on you and your business. What is your true motivation on your why? So what do you want to be, have, or do? Most of the time, it's what do I want to have? I want to have this, and I want to have that, so I can do these things. I can do this, and I can do that. And then at that point, I'll be able to retire. I'll be able to go to Tahiti. I'll be able to whatever. But I think the more rewarding way of looking at this is, who must I be? I must be a good seller. I must get really good at being a good seller and sourcing good products and doing product research. What must I do? So if I become a good seller, if I become a good whatever, then the things that I'll be able to do, I'll be able to serve, I'll be able to sell really good products out to the community. I'll be able to serve the community. And maybe I'll also be able to do some philanthropy. Maybe you want to go support others. So I'm a vice president of a nonprofit. That's one of the things that I enjoy, seeing smiles on families' faces. We haven't been able to do anything for 2 years. And so in 2022, our goal is to have our first event again, or to try to, if the pandemic will allow us to. And we want to do it in a safe environment, because our nonprofit supports families and individuals with special needs. That is the deal. So if there are individuals with special needs, it is all about, making sure that they are safe, because sometimes they have the most compromised immune system. So we have to think twice about how we do things. But e-commerce has allowed me the opportunity, because I've gotten better over the years of being a good seller, or being a decent seller. I'll say a good, decent seller. Then I'm able to do other things that make me happy, like serving the special needs community, supporting the special needs community, supporting others. Like during the holidays, we buy meals for families with special needs who are not able to do that. We give away gifts to kids children that have special needs. Their parents are financially strapped. So these are things that I'm able to do because of the fact that I actually do enjoy e-commerce, and I continue to grow as a seller. I work on growing as a seller so that I can have, like I want to have, I need to buy a second house for my kids. I used to have 2 houses, and then I sold my house. And so I need to buy 2 houses because I have 2 special needs kiddos. And I need to make sure that when I leave this earth, and we're all going to leave the earth, that they have their own houses, not necessarily in their names, but in the trust. So they will always have a place to live, so that they will not be homeless when I am no longer here. So there's a lot of things that I want to have. I'm not motivated by getting the Gucci purse or going to go get my nails done. Clearly, I'm not. If you've seen me, you know that I'm not motivated by those things. I'm not trying to go get my hair did. I'm not trying to buy some fancy clothes. I'm motivated by helping my kids become the best versions of themselves. That is what motivates me. And serving others. I like helping people in the e-commerce community actually get results. I'm one of those people that I enjoy that. And so that I believe that doing all these things will allow me the opportunity to have, which is what I want, another house, so that I have 2 houses for my kiddos. That's my goal. That's my mission. That's my vision. That before I leave this earth, that I have 2 houses that are secured in a trust for my kids, so they don't have to worry about a place to live. So what is your motivation? Because most of the time people are on this e-commerce journey because they want to have something. I want a car, I want to get that vacation, I want whatever. But for me, the more rewarding is if I get good at becoming or being an e-commerce seller, I'll be able to do things for my kids and for the community. And that way, in return, I'll be able to have the things that I want. So it's a different way to look at it. So these are my boys. I always look at them, I always see them as these 3 up here. This is Tony, this is Nicholas, and this is Tony and Nicholas. I see them like this all the time. Every time I look at them, even though they're taller than me, Tony's like almost 6 foot, and Nicholas is right up under him. And they are now 16 and 14. Nicholas is about to be 15 this year. Nicholas is autistic. This is my son, he's autistic. This is Nicholas. And Tony has Asperger's. And early in my journey, I actually used to do fundraisers to pay for their therapy and their treatments. That's what I used to do. So these are my boys. Of course, this is me. And this is us over the years. Nicholas. This is me and our nonprofit. So this is the president, Heather, and me. This is us at a radio station. But here's my boys. I think this was 2 years ago. And they are much taller than me now. But yes, these are my buddies. And wow, my face has gotten wider over the years. It's okay. But they are my why. I'm reminded every single day when they wake up why I do what I do. Why am I trying to serve the community? So definitely, I'm not going to lie, so I can get paid. But I'm also serving the community because I know one of the things that happened to me while I was recovering from COVID, I didn't know who was going to take care of my kids because I'm in the hospital 12 days. And, I live alone with my 2 kiddos. My brother is here, but he was down with COVID as well. He moved here to try and provide support. And the community stepped up and took care of my kids, not just while I was in the hospital, but they took care of my kids after I got out of the hospital because I was barely able to walk or stand. I was on oxygen all the time at home. I couldn't cook meals or any of that. The community took care of us. So I believe in serving because God always takes care of you. When you take care of his people, he takes care of his people. And he took care of us. And I'm eternally grateful for that. So I gave you some questions to think about. And I really want you to write down your why. I want you to write down what you like about e-commerce, what you don't like about it. I want you to write down what you do enjoy and why you're in the business. And I want you to think about, what type of seller do you want to be? What type of seller do you want to be? Because there's sellers that are good at what they do, but I want you to think about what you're doing as compared to anybody else that you have watched. Now, this is not about comparing your results. None of this is about comparing your results. None of it. When I first got started selling, I didn't make any money. I mean, I barely made any money when I first got started. And then I had a windfall in like October of my first year. I started in January and I had a windfall in like September and October. But the point is, again, think about think about, is there a seller that you have been watching? If you feel like you complain a lot, do you see them complaining a lot? Now, we all have complaints about stupid stuff that happens on the platform. But as a seller, like, are you complaining about every little thing? I'm not getting any sales. I didn't this. I didn't that. This didn't happen. Da, 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 da. Or do you like, okay, this seller seems to roll with the punches. I don't hear them complaining. Trust me, every seller has a story to tell. But the question becomes, do they tell it? I talk about some of my challenges, but I don't harp on them all the time. I just don't, because it doesn't serve me well to hold on to that frustration and anger, and it doesn't serve the community well, because again, my stuff is my stuff. It's just unique to me. It happened to me. Having mold is not something you're going to experience. Having your account shut, oh, that's what happened in 2020. They shut down my eBay account in the middle of Q4 of 2020. I was like, what the Sam Hill? So again, not something that happens to everybody. So every single seller's experience is going to be different. So don't compare your results to somebody else's. We all started off by making $1. Everybody started off by making $1. Some people maybe got 50 of those dollars. Some people may have gotten 2 of those dollars, and some people may have gotten 400 of those dollars. But we all started off making $1. So our journey was not instantaneous. Wake up and we have a bucket of money in our house. So make sure you write that down. And I want you to think about your specific mindset about your business. The mindset are the beliefs. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destination. Destiny, not destination, destiny. I believe that so much. What are the things that you're saying to yourself while you're on this journey? I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. It is not an easy journey. It is a simple business, but it is not an easy journey. There are times where it is easy, and there are times where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to get over the hurdle of they want these 3 things about this particular listing, or they took down this listing, or this person tried to return something, or somebody said that they didn't receive it and the porch pirates got it. Like, there's stuff that's going to happen. Stuff happens in big companies, but they have so much volume, they don't think about it. So you have to know that when Walmart is directly shipping something to a customer, do you not think that porch pirates don't steal their stuff? It happens. When Walmart, and yes, Walmart is much bigger than us, but I'm trying to say the stuff that happens to us also happens to the big businesses as well. So when, they get people that are scam artists, they get people that get products that maybe are shipped bad. And so it's like the carrier broke it up into 90,000 pieces. It happens to them. It's how you handle that. Is it going to happen to every shipment? Nope, it is not. It is not. If your margins are so close that if you have, maybe you're selling 100 items and 10 of them are broken up, and that causes you to shut down your business, you didn't have enough margin to be able to survive that. So again, we're going to talk about finances and what you need to be thinking about in your business, because you're going to have losses. In this business of selling physical products, you're going to have losses, and you have to account for that. You need to adjust for it. But you also have to have the mindset to be able to handle, like, let some of this roll off. Don't hold on to it. So the dictionary is for mindset is a person's way of thinking and their opinions. Yep, these are all my opinions right now, but you do have a mindset the way you think about your business, your opinions about your business. And I want you to think about, are your opinions about your business healthy? And are they going to help you to be able to grow your business? Or are they not healthy because you haven't really thought about what I really like about this business, what I don't like about it? And maybe you need to make some adjustments in how you see your business and how you think about your business. If you need to make some adjustments, this is the best time to do it. It's the beginning of the year. This is a reset. You get to make some adjustments. Are you doing some stuff in your business that's not going to serve you well? Or maybe it's not going to serve your mental health well. There's people that teach certain ways of doing e-commerce and they get themselves in trouble, and then the accounts get shut down, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry that happened to you. Again, you have to make the types of decisions. What was your motivation for getting into e-commerce in the first place? Did somebody convince you that you were going to make $6,000 in 2 months in this e-commerce journey? They talked you into it and they said that that's what's going to happen? Or was somebody honest with you and say, look, you can make $6,000. You're going to put a whole bunch of hours in. You got to make some investments. And you're probably going to get that over your first 3 to 6 months if you work full time in your business and you find the right products. Is it possible? Yeah. It's not going to be, oh, okay, I made that immediately in the first 30 days. I see those YouTube videos all the time and I'm like, I'd love to see your real numbers. There's a handful of people that are really good at finding and sourcing products because they do a bunch of analysis before they buy the product. If they do a bunch of analysis before they buy the products and they have money for marketing, yeah, they might make those crazy, crazy numbers. But if you are not that person that has a bunch of money to throw into, you get different results. So I want you to think about your business and how are you thinking about your business? How are you either making your business work or not making your business work? What are the things that you're saying about your business? Because if you have a lot of negative talk, is that long-term helpful to the growth of your business? Or is that potentially going to cause you to shut down and say this e-commerce thing doesn't work? Because there's too many people making a lot of money in e-commerce for you to say it doesn't work. And the reason why, I just need you to think about this. The logic of it all. Would Walmart still be in business expanding into e-commerce, meaning selling online, if it didn't work? No, Walmart would not. Neither would any of these other stores who have online presence. They just have big names. At some point, you're going to have an amazing product where you're going to have a big name. If that's your goal. If that's not your goal, if your goal is just to make some extra money or to make enough money to be able to pay your bills, keep a roof over your head and keep the lights on and keep the water coming out of your faucet, that's fine too. But again, that goes back to your why and what's motivating you. So think about how you are seeing your business and what your feelings about your business and what's your opinion about your business. And do you feel like it's healthy? Because if it's not, this is the time to reset it and to change it. So as part of this analysis, there are people that look at the things that happen in their business as opportunities. And there are people that look at the stuff that happens in their business as failures and they're frustrated all the time. I feel like for me personally, I have a growth mindset because I'm always trying to learn from whatever. Like I said, I got COVID. I couldn't control that. My kids went to school and majority of the school, like 1/3 of the school, not 1/3, 2/3 of the school got COVID, high school. So they brought it home to a whole bunch of parents. And there was a whole bunch of us that were home sick. And then it just progressed and I went into the hospital and yada, yada, yada. I couldn't control what happened in my business. I couldn't. There was nothing that I could control. I couldn't control the shipments didn't go out. I couldn't control any of that because I made some decisions in my business that I didn't think at that point were going to impact me. Now, had I outsourced 100% of all my shipping to a prep center, 100% and not kept any of it, then would this still be an issue? No, because it would be in a prep center or a fulfillment center and they would have shipped it out. But again, okay, what are the lessons that you've learned behind the fact that you got COVID? You need to get 100% of your stuff out just in case anything ever happens again. That's first. Second, you need to make sure that you have processes in place so that, and I just went through all the lessons learned. I could say all this stuff happened to me. I almost lost my business. It was horrible. I could say all of the things that were negative and blame COVID for all of it and why my business was a failure this Q4. Or I can take responsibility for some of the decisions that I made structuring my business and say, okay, this is what I learned and this is what I'm changing. This is what I'm putting in place. And it is what it is. And I still made some money. So yay. Again, I look at things a little different when it comes to my business. So which one of these do you feel like you are? Do you feel like you have a fixed mindset, or do you feel like you have a growth mindset? Like you're willing to learn from everything that happens in your business. I learn from the things that sell well, and I learn from the things that don't sell well. I learn from I'm inspired by looking at my competitors' listings, and maybe I could have taken different pictures, or maybe I could have created different pictures. Maybe I could have, I just go through the list of the things that I could have done in my business to maybe get more traction on that listing. Okay. So I look for opportunities. I don't complain like, oh, I bought 2,000 of these and I didn't sell not one. Nope. What can I do with that? Can I repurpose them? Always an opportunity. So what is your mindset when it comes to your business? And do you feel like you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? So in your why and your mindset, it determines your entrepreneurial endurance. You have to be able, as an entrepreneur, you have to be optimistic. You have to be patient. You have to be innovative. As an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to grow and learn. You have to be a problem solver. You have to have critical thinking skills. You got to have gratitude, because again, gratitude, people are buying your stuff. People are shipping your stuff to the people that work for FedEx and UPS and all. I am grateful for FedEx, UPS, and USPS. I am grateful for them. I'm grateful for the box companies that make boxes. I am grateful for the companies that make the air pillows or whatever. I am grateful for my customers who buy my stuff. You have to be flexible and buoyant. You have to dream in your business. You have to be willing and prepared to make decisions. You have to be flexible. You do have to have a vision for your business. And do you have a vision right now? Do you not have one, or do you have one? You have to be curious and be willing to explore something new and try something new. You have to be able to persevere through the bad times. Nothing is perfect. Absolutely nothing is perfect. So there will be ebbs and flows in your business, and you have to be able to persevere through that. You have to be patient. You also have to be driven. You have to be willing to take risks and to be able to analyze your business. These are all traits that you, as an entrepreneur, must have if you're going to endure the good times and the bad. All of the above. I have a son who is autistic, who is making a whole bunch of noise right now. And I need him to go in the other room. But anyway, so do you have a vision for your business? If you don't, you need to create one. You need to think about that tonight, and work on creating a vision for your business. Do you feel like you're being consistent in your business? If you're not, you need to put that on your list for 2022. I am going to be more consistent in my business. Do you do a good job at problem solving? Maybe that is not your strength. Maybe you need to work on developing that skill, or figure out what are the problems that you're encountering and how can you put solutions in place to solve them. So I'll give you an example. Problem solving. I create listings, but I cannot stand creating listings. So I outsourced creating listings to somebody else because I don't want to do that. I had to solve a problem. I'm like, look, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, one of the things you're required to do is have listings. No matter what, you got to have some listings. So if you don't have any listings, how are you going to make some money? So how do you solve that problem? You find somebody, you either get a listing tool, or you find somebody to create listings for you. That's what you need to do. Okay? So that is one of the things that I had to decide, that I was going to solve problems. My problem solving was getting somebody to create listings for me, getting somebody to do the product research for the title and finding the keywords and the description. I was like, I don't want to do that. I know how to do it. I can teach you how to do it. I do it well. I don't want to do that all the time. I want to invest my time in something else. I want to invest my time in finding products. Okay. One of the other things is I didn't want to do shipping. So I outsourced aspects of my business to a fulfillment, a prep center. I still have shipping in my house. And who do I have to do my shipping for me? My brother and my son. I'm like, okay, I don't want to. Again, I'm like, I can do the shipping. I gotta hire somebody else to do the shipping. I gotta outsource. So solving problems. So if you have the capacity to solve problems, like if that's not your jam, then figure out maybe you need to hire somebody else to do those things for you. Okay, doing analysis. So if you're not good at sitting down and doing your numbers, maybe you use some software to check your numbers and audit your inventory and to calculate your ROI. If that's not your strength, use some software, solve that problem. Okay. Making decisions in your business, being patient, you have to be optimistic. Not everything that you source is going to sell. So if you don't feel like you have the capacity to carry the load of all of these traits as an entrepreneur, then maybe this is the year in which you work on developing the skills to be able to do that. What do I have to do to be a little more optimistic? What do I have to do to be a little more grateful? I'm grateful every time somebody buys. So for me, do you put thank you notes in your stuff? Like, I'm thankful all the time. Are you focused, or do you run after the next shiny object when somebody contacts you and say, hey, I have this new opportunity? Or have you heard about blah, blah, blah? I'm like, I don't know if you guys have been following me since 2014, but I am not listing anything else on my wall. I'm not sharing anything else on my wall. Everything I do is my kids, my nonprofit, and my my e-commerce business. That's it. I have not changed. I have watched a whole bunch of people that I know get into this business. The next thing that they are selling some kind of cream, some kind of lotion, some kind of oil, some kind of something. Now they're selling this, they're selling that. I've watched people change. And it's okay. Change is good. Change growth is good. But if you're changing all the time because you have shiny object syndrome and you're not giving anything an opportunity to grow, that's a problem. You got to give stuff an opportunity to grow. So the goal is for you to give things an opportunity to grow. So take a screenshot of this and be honest with yourself. Do you feel like you carry or have any of these traits? Are you willing to do these things? An entrepreneur is always learning. You learn from everything. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was like, everything is a learning opportunity. Everything is. Whether it is good feedback or not, negative feedback. Okay, there's something I can learn from that. So on this entrepreneur journey of figuring out your why and getting your mindset, like resetting your mindset for 2022. Look, a couple of things that I recommend that you do, and I will copy these down. One, I want to encourage you to do a DISC assessment. So DISC assessment, measure your dominance, influence, steadiness, and conscientiousness to better understand your work style and how you build more effective relationships. But it's not just about your relationships. It really is about your work style. Sometimes these assessments will help you understand why you make some of the decisions you make in your business, why you do some of the things you do in your business, why you're maybe not as successful as you wanted to be in your business. So let me just escape for just a second. And let me, where is my, hold on, I am still here. There it is. Okay. Let me get the URLs and put them in the chat. And if you're going to do the DISC assessment, that's a fun one to do. Hopefully that URL is still good. I did not go back and retest the URL, so hopefully it's still good. The other one is the Strength Finders. So me and my business partner did Strength Finders, and Strength Finders is, again, figuring out your strengths and weaknesses, especially if you have a business partner. Like, you need to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. Me and my business partner have known each other since I was 7 and she was 8. That's a long time. And
it helps us to figure out our different business styles, our styles of doing business. So I would encourage you to take the Strength Finders. There's a free version of it, and see how maybe some of the decisions you're making in your business or maybe in your personal life, you may discover some things about yourself in your personal life. Why do I start things and never finish them? Why do I, whatever it happens to be, if there's something that you're doing, the Strength Finders and the DISC assessment may be an insight into why you do some of the things that you do, and maybe give you an idea of how you can improve aspects of your life. Maybe make adjustments, maybe correct some of the things. The other thing I do want to say, and I didn't say it at the beginning, is I think being at home and dealing with all of the stuff that we've all been dealing with from a mental health standpoint, some people discover that maybe they do have ADD or ADHD. Maybe they're self-diagnosing themselves or not. I know that I probably have some form of ADD or ADHD. Like I'm not all over the scoreboard, but I feel like, okay, attention and focus. And so I decided after I got out of the hospital and was struggling to be able to focus and to concentrate because I call it COVID brain. I actually was like, okay, I'm going to take some focus and concentration supplements so that I can actually start making progress in my business again. That was one of the hardest things for me to do after, getting out of the hospital and then being home for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And I'm like, why am I struggling to think? Like I couldn't remember certain things. And so I was like, we're going to go ahead and take some supplements so I can focus and concentrate because I'm frustrated at this point. So maybe you determine as part of this, maybe it uncovers some other things that you've discovered about yourself and that, you might need some help with some things, and it's okay to get help. That's the other thing, that an entrepreneur is willing to accept and embrace help if they need it. It's okay. So one of the last things, so definitely do the DISC assessment, do the Strength Finders, figure out what your strengths are, those strengths, and potentially play to your strengths in your business. Play to the things that will help you to be the most successful entrepreneur ever. And even if you decide you're going to leave the e-commerce space and go do something else, you can take that information and use it to help you figure out where your groove is, what makes you smile, what's your jam. You will figure it out. Like I thrive in XYZ. So I'm going to stop doing this e-commerce thing and I'm going to pursue this thing over here. Because let me tell you, it was a reminder, being in a COVID ward, life is short. It is so short. It is so short. Do the things that you love, that make you smile, that bring you joy. Don't do the stuff. I mean, there's going to be stress in anything that you do. Doesn't matter. But do the things that bring you joy. If I'm going to be stressed out about something, I'm going to be stressed out about stuff that make me smile. I'm like, okay, I'm going to work through this. Like I love seeing little kids smile when we give them things as part of our nonprofit. It's a lot of work to get to that place. So we could, well, of course, we crack up about it all the time. It's like we stress out about it and we complain about it. All this stuff, we got to do all this setup, and this vendor didn't show up, and this didn't happen, and this didn't happen, blah, blah, blah. But then when the kids show up and you see the smile, it's like it was all worth it. So I would rather do things that make me smile, that bring me joy. If e-commerce is no longer serving you and it's no longer bringing you joy, don't do it. Figure out what your strength is and go do that. Seriously, life is too short. But if you still find joy in doing e-commerce, if you still have fun doing it sometimes, if you still like the reward on the end, okay, know what the journey is. The journey is listing. The journey is sourcing, listing, shipping, whether you ship or somebody else ships. That is the journey. So, and then the next thing is, I would encourage you to build your vision board for 2022. What do you see yourself? What do you want for your personal life? What do you want for your business life? What do you want for your health, your spiritual journey, your family? Build a vision board. Maybe have a couple of vision boards. Create a vision board for your family and let your family work with you on it. Sorry. You can build online vision boards. Build a vision board for your business, maybe build one for your health.
build one for your spiritual journey, build a vision board and surround yourself in it, at least for the month of January. Keep it around all year long and go to it every day and kind of look at it so you can be inspired by it and reminded about it. Where do you want to go? Where do you want things to be? Where do you want your journey to be over the next 12 months? That is one of the things that I like doing this year. I'm going to do vision boards with myself. We actually bought a vision board like kit. And let me just tell you, I am going to come out with a product for vision boards for boys, because every single vision board that we found for kids to put together, they were all girly. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with them being girly, but I would like for there to be a vision board for boys. One does not exist. So Nicole's going to put one into the marketplace. Just telling you right now. And yes, that is a bundle. And yes, I am going to do a subscription box for it. Okay, so when you do the DISC assessment, again, you're going to figure out some of your behaviors about yourself. And there are some good things that are good about those behaviors. There's going to be things that are bad about those behaviors. So as part of that, figure out, it's going to also give you information about your operations, your personality, operational personality. So DISCS, this is a C, this is what it stands for. And you will you will see and notice some of the things, if any of these resonate with you. So one of the things about steadiness, which is the S, consistency and supportive, is that you don't like to be rushed, and you have a calm approach and a calm manner, and you're supportive of other people's actions. If you're an influencer, shows enthusiasm, is optimistic, likes to collaborate, dislikes being ignored. So you might be an attention seeker and not really realize it. Dominant sees the big picture, can be blunt. I would say that I'm probably a dominant, accepts challenges and straight to the point. I mean, you may not think I'm being straight to the point right now, but my business partner was like, she's okay, Nicole. And then conscientiousness, enjoys independence, objective reasoning, wants the details, fears being wrong. So figure out, and again, as you go through this journey, you'll be able to figure out things about yourself. So that when you do the strengths finders, which is Clifton Strengths, this is what you're going to see. And you're going to see your information. So it tells you about you. What are your strengths? And then it gives you the first 6 or 10 strengths. And then if you take the extended, you'll get to see the other strengths that it has for you. So I think this is a sample. This is not mine. I don't think it is. This is not mine. But it will give you all the strengths. And then it does a breakdown of each one of these strengths. What does significance mean? What does futuristic mean? What does individualism mean? What does focus mean? And you really will have an opportunity to analyze things about yourself on this journey. It will help you better understand why you make some of the decisions in your relationships, in your business life, in your personal life, for your family, for your health. It really does, it's eye-opening. And I try to do this every single year so that I can reset my thinking and work on focusing on the things that I do want to really improve about myself, about my family life, about my spiritual journey, about my health, and about my business. I seem to be failing on the health part, but I'm gonna work on that. So why should you do a vision board? You should do a vision board because it is something that you can visualize every single day or every single morning to remind you what you're shooting for or what you're working towards. So vision boards absolutely work. This is Oprah. You have to have a vision and a plan to execute so that every step moves you in that vision. Okay. Steve Harvey, man, if I didn't have a vision board, I'd be in trouble. And then this is John Asheroff, says, look at the images on your vision board over and over. Repetitiveness of vision combined with your associated emotions will develop your power to visualize and take action to achieve your goals. Definitely consider doing a vision board. And you can Google some vision board options and some vision board tools. But on your vision board, what is a vision board? So the vision board creates a visual representation of what you envision for your life. Remember, I talked about your business and other aspects of it. You can break them down and have separate vision boards. It allows you to define and clarify your aspirations, refine them, and keep your intentions focused. It brings your vision to life. You can hang it in your office and your workspace. You can use it for a screensaver. You can actually put it on your phone too. You can make a poster board, or you can make a digital version of it. So if you decide you're going to do a vision, this is an online version of a vision board, and then those are like poster boards that people have made. So if you get the family involved and say, okay, what do we want to accomplish this year as a family? What are the things we want to achieve? And like I said, I'm going to do one with my son Tony and say, okay, what are the things that you want to see for yourself? Of course, he's going to be thinking about stuff like, I want an Xbox, I want a new phone, I want a car. He's going to be thinking about that. But let's just talk beyond that. With some of the other things, those are all material. Let's learn how to think about, what do I want for myself? What type of person do I want to be this year? And so we're going to go through that exercise. And hopefully he will learn what he wants. But I encourage each one of you to create your own vision board. You can Google online vision boards if you want to, and you can create your own online version and print it out, or you can save it as your screensaver so that every single time you log into your computer, it's there as your background. You could put it in different places throughout your house, but I think a vision board is helpful to remind you why you do what you do, why, and all of that. Are good business practice or good business habits for your business is be intentional about your time, money, and resources. We're going to take a deeper dive into that in session 2. Be a student. You should always be learning. As a matter of fact, when you get ready to build your real work schedule, you should have in your work schedule time blocked off to learn. I don't mean go get sucked down the YouTube black hole, the rabbit hole of YouTube. I mean actually being intentional and putting certain things on your calendar so that you can learn what it is you want to learn. So I'm going to give you an example. One of the things I don't do as well as I would like to is I want to get better at Google ads and Facebook ads. So for me, first quarter is going to be all about Google ads and Facebook ads every single weekend, 1 to 2 hours a weekend. And so what is that? 1 to 2 hours a weekend over 12 weekends is 12 hours or 24 hours. If I spend the first 6 weeks focusing on Facebook and spending 2 hours for 6 weeks, that's 12 hours, 100% focused on Facebook and implementing that. And then we'll take this remaining 6 weeks, 2 hours, and focusing on Google ads every single week. That's 12 hours. Do you think at the end of that 12-week period, I will have learned a lot more about Facebook ads and Google ads? The answer is yes. I will have gotten better. The person I was when I started in January 1st versus the person I am on March the 31st is going to be completely different. And my skills will have gone up exponentially because I invested time in learning something new. So you need to figure out what it is you want to learn in 2022, and you need to invest the time in doing those things. You do need to build a real work schedule. I talk about that all the time. We are going to talk about that in the next one. And you need to be committed to your business. Stop getting sucked into the vortex of the shiny object. Seriously, like the shiny object is really shiny. And a lot of people just, I literally see people start and they do a great job and then they go get sucked into something else. Be consistent in your business. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key to weight loss. Consistency is the key to making money and like investing in the stock market. Consistency is the key. People make a lot of money because they are consistent. Okay? Get focused in your business. Get very focused in your business and be organized. If you have not, like you need to get organized. If you haven't gotten organized, I would encourage you to grab our plan. Get organized. It is time to get organized. It is time to get organized. So you should be organized about your accounting. You should be organized about your inventory. You should be your budget. You should be organized on everything that you're doing in your business to move it forward. Now, I'm not saying organized to the point that it creates anxiety for you. That's not what I'm talking about. Some people do well with a very detailed schedule, and they get organized on everything that they need to do, and they do a great job of doing assessments. Other people are like, oh my gosh, I get so anxious if there's too many things on the page. So just write down one or two things you want to accomplish if that is your personality. But again, do the DISC assessment, do the strength finders, so you can figure out. It's called Clifton Strengths. Do the strength finders so you can figure out what your personality is, and you'll know how to use the planner. You know how to use it based on your assessment. Okay. Get organized in your business, get organized in everything that you're trying to do, and write down the things you want to accomplish this year. So at the beginning of the session, I said, okay, let's think about the things that you feel like went well this year in your business and in your personal life. What do you want to change? What do you want to stop doing? What do you want to start doing? Write those things down. Really write those things down. Do your strength finders. See if you have the characteristics and the traits of an entrepreneur. If you don't, it's okay if you don't. Figure out what your love and your passion is and go do that. And then also practice the habits of an entrepreneur or an e-commerce seller, because you need to make sure that you're doing the things that are going to help your business to grow in 2022. So you make more money so that you're more successful in your business. So the things that make you successful, your mindset, your habits, and your consistency. Consistency is the key. I encourage you to grab our planner, because the planner is going to contain a lot of great information that's going to help you, but you can also use it to build the habit of consistency in your business by following a schedule. A schedule helps you build the habit of consistency in your business. If you follow the schedule, you'll build the habits. So I want to encourage you to go grab that and use it in your business. As part of this journey, we're going to have daily and weekly and monthly accountability calls. So planning calls and accountability calls, but they're not going to be long sessions. I keep saying calls, they're sessions. So we're going to have like a 15-minute session every single day to get people going, building that habit of consistency in their business. It's all about, did you get the stuff done that you had on your calendar for yesterday? Did you plan last night for today's success? You know, what are some of the things you're going to accomplish today? And then we'll do an assessment the next day. Did you get the things done? If you said you're going to create 20 listings, did you actually create 20 listings, or did you not create 20 listings? On a weekly, we're going to plan out the week. What are we going to source? What are the activities we need to do in our business this week? Who are we going to, which platforms are we going to create listings on? How many listings do we want to create per platform? Or are we not going to create listings? Are we going to use a new tool? You know, what are the things that you want to do? Are you going to outspend this week outsourcing some things to a VA? Are you going to start looking at a fulfillment center or prep center? Are you going to put together training materials for your VA? Like planning these things out and being intentional with your what? Time, money, and resources. Be intentional with your time, money, and resources. That is the objective in your business, to always be intentional. And so using a planner will help you to be intentional with your time, your money, and your resources all the time. And then we're going to do a monthly assessment. And the monthly assessment is about, in the monthly assessment, you'll be able to go back and look at how did your month go? And then moving forward, what are the things that I want to plan for next month? So we'll do the monthly assessment about a few days before the month is over. Did you accomplish all the goals that you wanted to accomplish for the month? Or what are the goals you want to accomplish for next month? So we're going to do that every single month so that you make progress. You'll be able to see month over month. Did I make progress from last month over this month? Yes. Did I was able to, get the things done? Yes or no? And again, you have to give yourself grace and mercy on this journey. I had to give myself a lot of grace and mercy. Did I get the things done that I was supposed to get done from August to September? No.
Did I get the stuff done I was supposed to get done from September to October? No. Did I get the stuff done I was supposed to get done from October to November? No, none of it got done. And it's okay because we're resetting everything. It didn't get done. And it's okay. Did I make some money? Yeah, I made some money, but I didn't make as much money as I wanted to. And it's okay. So grab the planner because we're going to start these sessions. We're going to do a 21-day challenge, a 28-day challenge. We're going to start that on the 21st, ironically. And you'll be able to use your planner to do that. So with that being said, tomorrow we're going to talk about refocus. And refocus is going to be all about things that you'll be able to do in your business to get refocused and to be more productive. Of course, we're going to talk about the planner. I'm sorry, but we are. And start to build some of that consistency in your business so that you can make different decisions. And then the next day, we are going to talk about, reset, refocus, and oh God. You think I'd have these memorized by now. I am so bad at this. The 3 R's, Reenergize. Sorry, I was thinking of something else. COVID brain. I just blame it on COVID. I'll just call it COVID brain. So we're going to build your business. We're going to scale it. And we're going to talk about some tips and strategies you can put in your business. So at this point, what questions do you have about today? Hopefully you all will go and do your vision boards. Hopefully you all will go and take the tests, the 2 tests that I recommend. And hopefully you'll go do that. Hopefully you'll answer the questions about your why. You'll answer the questions about your year-end review. What questions can I answer for you right now? What questions can I answer?